Day 12 of tasting a different Canadian wine every day until we hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Please hit subscribe. Let's share the Canadian wine joy. Carl Boucher.
Welcome, welcome. So today we are going to Lake Erie North Shore in Ontario. So we're off the beaten path. We're not in Niagara, Ontario. We're not in the Okanagan Valley in British Columbia. We're in this very tiny Lake Erie North Shore appellation. One of the unknown fact about the Lake Erie North Shore is one of the warmest spot in the entire country to grow grapes. I mean, we always have that perception that Osoyoos in the South Okanagan, because it's in the desert, it's the hottest place in North America and the hottest place, at least in Canada, to grow grape. But in terms of degree days, which is the unit, the measure that the wine industry use to quantify how hot it is in the region, there's the same heat unit in Lake Erie North Shore than it is in Osoyoos, BC, Okanagan. So, fun fact here. Now, we're talking about Mouchedre Vineyard, the Cabernet Franc 2022 vintage, and this wine is an absolute joy to taste. And in terms of value, in terms of like weighing the price versus the quality versus the enjoyment, oh man, this is right on the sweet spot. A $23 wine. I rate that wine previously 92 points, and let's see how this wine hold up after a couple of years, because I haven't tasted it in a few years. So let's look at it. Okay, well, I butchered. So can't get rid of the foil here, but we're gonna make it anyway. So there you go. Boom. That's my big pour. That is for Mira. And now we're gonna taste that 2022 Mouchedre Vineyard. This is a wine with 12 months in oak barrel, a mix of new and used barrel. I would say probably a 20% new barrel, probably 80%, 50% neutral, a few barrel of second fill and third fill. That just gives that wine a beautiful Cab Franc characteristic. Woo-hoo, I love that. Very expressive, a little bit of floral on the nose, a little hint of dark chocolate as well, and that strawberry shortcake that, to me, absolutely scream Cab Franc. It's one of the characteristics in Cab Franc that I always look for. It's that strawberry shortcake, vanilla, whipped cream type of thing, and that, to me, that's Cab Franc on the nose. A little bit of a as well sandalwood, dark cherry as well. Very aromatic, beautiful nose, scream, very, very Cab Franc. So
it's sounding really good. Now you guys know that at the beginning of my wine tasting journey, okay, I'm not the wine person, this guy is. Okay, I just drink the wine. At the beginning, I was like, I'm not a big fan of Cab Franc, but it's Cab Francs like this that converted me. Okay, I do love most Cab Francs now, so I'm gonna come over. That's making me thirsty.
Oh, you better come over, because the spice on the back end of the Cab Franc was gonna hit you right there. I mean, I know you like your wine with a little bit of spice. This is gonna be right up your alley. That's true. She couldn't stand Cab Franc at the beginning. And more and more, she developed the love for that varietals. And you know what? This is a very fun topic before we go back. Okay, let's talk about it right away. We'll go back on Mouchedre specifically right after. But I believe that Cab Franc could be. Ooh, there you go. I got you covered.
And I brought you an NOV.
Oh. A surprise after too. We'll see. Okay, Cab Franc could be. It's a very interesting conversation to have among wine lover, among wine geek, among wine expert. Is Cab Franc could be the Canadian red grape? Could it be one of the most prolific red grape varietal growing in Canada? And there's a case to be made for Cap Franc. Let me talk to you about it, because for a fact, this is definitely Niagara, like poster child. This is definitely what Niagara does best across the board. I mean, you can't tell me that Niagara is known for his Pinot Noir and his Gamay. I do agree, but I mean, not all over Niagara, right? Niagara on the lake. I would take Cap Franc over Pinot Noir in Niagara on the lake any day of the week. So in Niagara Escarpment, there's a point to be made that Cap Franc could be the very best. Do you know what? You know that there is Cap Franc growing in Nova Scotia? Do you know that?
Because we opened almost 60 Cap Francs from coast to coast, didn't we? Just a little while ago. It's on our blog what we thought of them. Carl tasted them all live. And one of those was what? A 2016 100% Cap Franc from Nova Scotia.
Yep. Right? Yes, baby. Yes, baby. Nova Scotia in right on the cliff of the Big Fundy. Benjamin Bridge has a, 5 acre of Cap Franc right on the cliff of the Big Fundy. And in good vintage, in the hotter vintage that they have, they produce 100% red Cap Franc. If the vintage is not, it's not appropriate, they will do rosé with the Cap Franc. But 2016, 2020, they have enough heat unit and enough to ripen Cap Franc all the way across to produce couple barrels of Cap Franc. We had the privilege to taste that, and it was absolutely fantastic. So that's Nova Scotia. Ontario, no doubt about that. And now let's talk about BC, because in BC, in the Okanagan Valley, yes, we make beautiful Merlot. We make beautiful Cap Sauv, beautiful, that's Syrah. And Syrah, yes, could be BC's top grape. But we have an issue with Syrah. Syrah is the troubled child of grapes. They are not winter hardy. They are extremely sensitive to frost. We are losing our Syrahs every time we have a big freeze event. And as you may know, 2024 was absolutely decimated. The BC vineyards, especially in the Okanagan, in the South Okanagan, and we lost a lot of Syrah. Winery owners, winemakers, viticulturists are putting out Syrahs a lot. And guess what? Most of them are replacing them by... Yes, you guessed it right. Cap Franc. Why? Because Cap Franc is much more winter hardy. Cap Franc will resist much better to freeze. And you know what? Cap Franc grows pretty freaking well in the Okanagan, in the North Okanagan, in the Central Okanagan, especially in the South Okanagan. So there's a case to be made that Cap Franc could be the Canadian red grape across the board. I would not argue that hard with you, because I tend to agree with that. On the large scale, that could be my choice too. If you try to isolate different sub-region here and there, obviously there's grapes who grow better in isolated different areas. It's not Cap Franc everywhere. But on the big scale of thing, on the red wine, I tend to agree that Cap Franc can be the grapes. So let's get back to Mouchadre Vineyard. Melissa Mouchadre are two brothers, and the whole family has been involved in that beautiful family affair. Passion Project was started. They have 13 acres of grape there, all run by family member. They are the best winery in Lake Erie North Shore, to my opinion. I mean, we've featured them in the club. They've been part of our Pan-Canadian Masterclass. We host, they are absolutely amazing. They produce wines also like Yep, you got it right. Some Nebbiolo. Yes, they do grow Nebbiolo. They do grow Barbera. Hey, Mira, what is your take on Moose at Vineyard?
We love it. Like we were introduced to this winery by one of our members, Mike. And if you're on YouTube, hit up his channel. It's Mike, the Average Wine Enthusiast. And so Mike, who lives in Windsor, said, "Hey, there's a winery near Windsor, right? Lake Erie North Shore is near Windsor." And he said, "You've got to try it." And we're like, "Oh, okay." Like Niagara, Okanagan, Similkameen, even Vancouver Island. We've seen some great wines from these places, Prince Edward County in Ontario, but Lake Erie North Shore, we weren't so sure.
Weren't so sure. Remember what was the first wine that we ever taste?
It was a
That was the 2019 Meritage.
Yes. And it was spectacular. It was. And we were both like, what?
I know, right?
They do some amazing stuff and amazing value. So like the Cab Franc we're tasting, it's
$23. $23, 92 point. That one silver. The 21 vintage won gold at the National Wine Award. This wine, for the price you pay, over deliver big time. So the palate of that, there is a nice mid palate. It's not a light Cab Franc. It's not the big heavy bomb either. This is a very well balanced, I would say, medium body. And deliver that blend of red and black fruit. I would say there's a little bit of red cherry. There's also cassis, but there's also red. There's also like stewed strawberry, a hint of black currant. So very well diverse on the palate. Dark chocolate. I truly like the vanilla profile, that strawberry and cherry. So well balanced. And there is that classic Cab Franc spice, the peppery note, not Syrah like, more on the white pepper and the oak lingering on the finish as well, in terms of little like cinnamon, cardamom type of spice. So oak is present, definitely not overpowering, very just integrated to it, right acidity, who keeps everything lifted. The tannins are soft. Now we're on the 22 vintage here, so not necessarily a baby. This one is drinking very well at the moment, and you could have another 6 years of aging. Absolutely no doubt about that. So this wine, for the price, yes, I mentioned it earlier, over deliver its price point, 92 points in my book, and yeah. I love that. 13% alcohol, so not heavy, not big alcohol, but also not too lean, right? There's some oomph to it. There's some presence. There's some personality. So yeah, very well done.
And you know that you're saying all these lovely things, especially like cake and stuff. It makes me want to have it with some chocolate. There's not that many wines that I want to have with chocolate, but this is one. I'm craving some nice dark truffles, like high quality chocolate. I think it would be spectacular.
You know what I want with that? I want some Toblerone.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I would like some Toblerone with that. Yeah. In terms of a meal, I would pair this with, you know what? A nice baked lasagna. Why not?
Oh yeah, right. And I mean the family of Bouchardre, the family is originally from Italy, so I can almost guarantee that all their wines pair really well with Italian food. But especially this, a lasagna. Holy smokes, you are so right.
We've never been there, but I've heard that they have the pizza oven on the property, and they're crushing it with their pizza. So now let's talk about, because they do Nebbiolo, they do Barbera, so they're probably from the Piemonte, if I guess, because these are the grapes from the Piemonte. So I would say that. And one wine that, if you're a collector, if you're someone serious about wine, go after their Syrah. Oh yeah, no, okay, yes. First and foremost, go after their Syrah. Their Syrah is one of the best Syrah in Canada. And I am not joking. Their Syrah, it's one of the very best Syrah in Canada.
I've got
There
some
you
right here.
go. I
It's
think you
empty.
blind taste me. You blind tasted
Yeah.
me with one of them on our Wine Wednesday.
That's right. That's right.
That's
And
right.
yes,
That's right, baby. Yeah. And so go after their Syrah. They still have the 2017 on their website, and like I mean, an 8-year-old or 9-year-old Syrah at that quality is absolutely incredible. 17 is a blast. 2020 made my top 10 wine of the year a couple years ago. It was featured at the Pan Canadian Masterclass as well. One of the members' favorite. Now, you want to go some about with after something rare? The Nebbiolo is of a wine. Okay, more in the premium category. I get it, but that deliver for $100. Rare varietal. There's not a lot of winery in our country who makes Nebbiolo. And I don't think there's any, to my opinion, who makes Nebbiolo at that level. They also make Barbera blended with Cab Sauv. Barbera Capsule, very unique wine. Crushed it in my book. Can't remember what I scored it, but absolutely love it. So these are two wines, collector items that you can go after. So search Mouchadre on Google, Mouchadre Vineyard in Lake Erie, North Shore. Melissa.
So it's spelled like Muscadet.
Muscadet.
Like the Musketeers almost, but
Yeah,
pronounced Mouchadre. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Tracy says the pizza is great. I totally agree. And the other Tracy says the pizza is great too. So the Tracys are in agreement on the interwebs tonight.
And you know what? That is something that we gotta go. So now we're doing a trip to Prince Edward County in Chardonnay Pinot Noir world in June. We gotta go to Lake Erie North Shore. I mean, we gotta make it there as well.
Absolutely.
I love the nose. I love the nose. It's really Cab Franc, you know, and there's no green aspect to it because we have a debate with wine drinker, right? Wine lovers. Some Cab Franc could be a grape that you like or you hate, right? There's the geek who really like the Chinon de Loire, that old world greenish, makes it like for very geeky style. And I get it. I get how intriguing, and I don't mind the Parisine personally. Parisine is the molecule, like it's the what's they rub like these green pepper flavors. That's called the Parisine, right? And personally, I don't mind it. I know a lot of people really can't stand that, but it brings personality to the wine. This has no Parisine. This is not a wine. This is not a Cab Franc on the old world style. This is very much new world. Nice ripeness, nice modern delivery. There you go. Tracy's on my side here, loving Parisine as well. You know what? I love that. I think it brings such a nice personality to the wine. It doesn't have to be always ripeness and dark fruit and ripe fruit. I like my acidity, right? I like that nice little geeky side of it. Woo. So that is a really nice conversation. Listen, we can go on and on and on about Cab Franc for a long time. We've done something pretty cool at least twice about Cab Franc that we call our Cab Franc Marathon, Varietal Marathon. The last time we did one was in November. And I'd like to, just my top three was back then from Ontario, the Wismer Foxcroft, Kern & Co. was my very top that day at 94 points. And I also remember clearly falling in love with the Bella Terra 2017 Cab Franc from the 4 Mile Creek appellation in Niagara-on-the-Lake. Was an absolute stunner, and an unreleased wine from the Similkameen Valley from Bottega Wine Studio, an absolute monster of a wine, 100% new oak, who was just released, made by Daniel Bonter, and this one knocked my socks off as well. So it was my top three of a 60 Cab Franc that we tasted side by side. And a couple other producer very worth it to mention about Cap Franc. Vineland Estate on the Niagara Escarpment produced Cap Franc at a world-class level. Ryan Schmid went to school, the Cap Franc School in the Loire Valley, a couple of times, and is very worth it. Is clone is 214 and 327, but both clone who's made the Carl's Wine Club wine last year, the 100% Cap Franc from the Boutique Vineyard, wonderful Cap Franc. Sue and staff also make a stunning Cap Franc in Niagara. Stonebridge made it to my top 10 wine of the year a few years back for their 100% Cap Franc in Niagara-on-the-Lake. Niagara-on-the-Lake, especially the Four-Mile Creek appellation, is a wonderful, wonderful place to produce Cap Franc. Stratus does some in Amphora, which are really cool as well. So, I mean, we talked about Benjamin Bridge in Nova Scotia. We talk about Similkameen, Lake Erie. Like, Cap Franc can be produced at a world-class level pretty much anywhere in Canada. So, yeah, today's wine, this is day 12 of our challenge, opening a different Canadian wines every day until we hit the 1,000 subscriber. So, it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun to do that. And Mira?
Tracy Bullock, thank you so much for these tips. So Kelly Mason and 30 Bench. I do believe we've tried at least some of Kelly Mason's wines because she also is a winemaker at Domaine Kalis.
You got that right. And we learned under Thomas Batchelder.
And she was Thomas's protege, but we have yet to do more tastings and feature Kelly at some point. So I think that's definitely one that we need to target the next time we're in Niagara. And 30 Bench, because I've heard many things, but I don't think we've tasted much of their wines. Hey, Carl?
Absolutely. One also that I remember is Southbrook. Southbrook had a single vineyard that escaped me, but holy smokes, it was good.
Vineyard, maybe?
You got that right. Absolutely. You're good. You're good. Laundry Vineyard. You're right. Really, really like that wine. Bless ya. And woohoo. So yeah, many world-class Cap Franc producer. The Silva Vineyard and Winery on the Naramata Bench produce fantastic Cap Franc. Amazing Cap Franc.
So on the red side, I think it's pretty much decided. I do think Cap Franc is king red grape in both BC, Niagara, Lake Erie. Sure, like it's one of Canada's best reds. And on the white side, I would say it's Chardonnay, like you would say. I mean, we do so many things so well in Canada, but Cap Franc across the board, across all the different regions, probably one of the best varietals for Canada.
I would agree with you. And it was a treat to taste that $23, 92 point Moose Chadre Vineyard 2022 vintage Cap Franc. A beautiful wine. Punches way above its price point. I tell you that.
We checked their website, and it's $22.50 for their newest release of that Cap Franc.
There you go. We taste over 2,000 Canadian wines a year. Wine like that at that price point is worth ordered by the case, folks. It sure does. It works. It's worth ordering by the case. So, yeah, Mira, thank you for day 12. If you haven't subscribed yet.
We mentioned, like we need to go to Niagara. We need to check out this winery, that winery. We are going to Prince Edward County, you guys, for the first time as a club. We have featured 3-4 wineries from Prince Edward County multiple times sometimes. So we're going to definitely be visiting with those winemakers and winery owners, and as well some new ones that members have recommended. So it's a full weekend. Friday night barbecue, full day of touring with bus and lunch and dinner on the Saturday. And I mean, like Carl's Wine Club style. Like you're not just getting 3 pours and moving on. No, this is like.
Oh, darn no.
go taste some barrels, go find out, what it's like to walk through the vineyard while tasting wines that came from that vineyard, things like that. And on the Sunday, we're doing a more informal day of touring, self-driven, so that if you need to bolt, halfway through, you can. So all that is on
May
your
1st,
email.
2nd, and 3rd.
And it's almost sold out. We just announced it 2 days ago, and it is almost sold out. There is also a wine mansion. 8 couples can stay there with us. And that adds a whole nother fun layer to it, doesn't it?
Oh, that's going to be epic. Finally, I'm going to walk the South Clo Vineyard and the Churchside Vineyard at Clausen Chase.
Oh,
finally, for the first time, I'm going to walk the South Clo. I cannot wait for that. And I'm going to go walk the bridge at Carlo Estate. That bridge was made in a very amazing way. I want to go see that, and yeah, there's going to be so much fun to meet up with new members out there and members who usually travel with us. No matter where we go, they always follow. So there's going to be an amazing group of wine lovers. Tracy, we're going to send you the information very shortly.
I'm going to drop it in the chat, you guys. If you are a collector member, it kind of pays for your collector membership for the whole year if you have like 2 people coming, because there's 25% off of this event.
We should get rid of it
right now. So, and there's 3 more spots left for the wine mansion if you want to stay with us. And then there are some members coming with their RVs and stuff. They're going to like park their RVs at a vineyard or something like that. So there are a few other couples coming, but it's almost sold out. And we just announced it 2 days ago. And it's going to be so much fun. And you chatted with Jeff and Stacy from Ottawa to get some insider picks on the new wineries that we'll see, right? So do you have any ideas on those? Because I know from the ones we featured.
I do. So Jeff and I have talked, and we're pretty much on the same page, because for me, like there's at least 2 names who were not negotiable. Clausen Chase is going to be the centerpiece of that Saturday touring, because Keith is a dear friend. They make the very best wine, some of the very best wine in Canada, not along Prince Edward County, in the country. He's one of the most talented winemaker. So we're going to spend a good chunk of the afternoon on the Saturday at Clausen Chase. But I want to go visit Rose Hall Run. Rose Hall Run is a winery with a fascinating portfolio, and I really want to visit Rose Hall Run, because they produce like that Cindy Vineyard and the RHR Vineyard Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. They two of their Chardonnay made it to the top of our Chardonnay marathon a couple of years ago. I don't know if you remember, Mira. So anyway, Rose Hall Run, Clausen Chase. I've heard that Grange of Peck, the Grange Winery, makes amazing food for lunch. So that's something that I'm exploring to go for lunch. And also with the tasting there's few other wineries like Trail Estate with Mackenzie Brisbois, who were part of our Pan-Canadian, but 2 who are absolutely non-negotiable, who are going to be part of the list on the Saturdays: Rose Hall Run and Clausen Chase. And I will add another one on the Saturday, and Carlo Estate also. It's either on the Sunday morning, but I really want to go visit Sherry Carlo and Sachs, who are amazing people, and they make some really intriguing wines. So yeah, the full lineup is not set in stone yet, but we have a pretty good idea of our itinerary, and it's going to be an epic tour. So now I want to see here just a little sip of a Blanc de Blanc 2017 vintage from Bella Terra Vineyard. We had that open for a winemaker Zoom tasting that we did. We do once a month. It was open on Thursday night. I mean, there's still a little bit of bubble in there. I just want to taste the base juice. I want to taste the still juice of that wine. 5 or 6 days open now. I love doing that with sparkling because the acid is beautiful, is really high, and I love the minerality. It's always fun to taste. So I like that 6 days after it's open, even if it's a sparkling wine. So yeah, that was my little test run, my little test of the day, because we love to do a lot of tests because we open a lot of wines during the week. So here we are. It's day 12 of our YouTube challenge, opening a different wines every single day, a different Canadian wines every single day until we hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't done it yet, hit the bell below. Subscribe, get the notification on. You're going to get a little buzz every day when we get on. Yeah, keep going. Keep following us. Keep announcing the good news of the Canadian wines on a daily basis.
Yes, absolutely. And Tracy, you got your 2017 Blanc de Blanc from Marcel from Bellaterra on Saturday. That's awesome. The Bellaterra feature is coming out now. So many of you collector members have already gotten Bellaterra wines. You spent a whole night on Thursday last week with the winemaker, with Fred. And we have
the managing partner, Marcel Morgenstern.
If you're a collector member, you get access to the member pricing. So you're saving like 13 to 20% on every wine with this winery and get the free shipping. It's crazy. And if you are not a collector member, there's going to be some awesome new wines coming from Bellaterra your way in the next 24 hours, discovery pack and more. So stay tuned for that and their story tomorrow at Wine Wednesday.
There you go, wine lover. Thank you very much, and I will see you tomorrow.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for stopping by.